Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at one of my favorite teams for this kind of meta here. Just because we have two ducks here today. We're going to have the Sirfetch'd as well as the Galarian Farfetch'd. Two of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Go Battle League because they're just so funny together. We have Duckle basically here again. If you're already following my channel for a longer time, this is kind of a team that I already ran like several times prior with two duck Pokemon there in the back. But the Galarian Farfetch'd is always a Pokemon that every time I use it, I'm surprised on how strong this thing is. Like, you don't really think that it's strong, but this Pokemon is so good. And we're going to see it here today as well again, as our good friend the Sirfetch'd here is going to be able to buff up. It was kind of easy guess that the opponent going to swap out here. So I was able to now go ahead and do a ton of damage against this Umbreon with the Leaf Blade, and they're going to forfeit this game. Honestly, Farfetch'd, one of my favorite Pokemon all time. It is just such a cool Pokemon to have, and you're going to see a lot of Brave Birds going to land, you're going to see a lot of Leaf Blade spam going to happen. This Pokemon is so strong. If ever like Fury Cutter gonna get an upgrade, this Pokemon going to be one of the coolest meta breakers ever, because you can just go ahead and spam this fast move and have like coverage even in the open Great League for something like a Lantern with the Leaf Blade or something like the Medicham with the Brave Bird. This Pokemon has so much coverage, it's really cool to see. Of course, the Farfetch'd here, the Sirfetch'd here, of course, has also similar coverage here. We're going to run the Night Stash, which is going to help us against the Vigoroth. That's why we use it as a safe swap, usually at least. Because you can get out the Vigoroth and you can go ahead and go for the Night Stash, while our Farfetch'd can Brave Bird the opponent's late game, trying to get an advantage by that. But here we're going to now encounter the opponent's Blasters, and I can go ahead and go into my Farfetch'd. I can go for the Leaf Blade, super effective. Leaf Blade, one of the strongest charge moves in the game, does a ton of damage against the opponent here, which has some very cool sunglasses to be fair, but they can now go ahead, swap out into the Grimer, they can swap into my Lickitung. I should be able to lick them down, and can I win this game? It's going to be super close. If I can knock them out here with the counter from our Sirfetch'd, it's sadly not enough, and they're going to be able to now knock us out. Let's take a look at the next game we're going to have here. The MEWeedle against us, a very interesting Pokemon here to be fair. Interesting Steel type, has access to the move Double Iron Bash as well as Super Power, which they're gonna go for here, and they're going to swap out into the Dragonair, and our good friend the Farfetch'd here can go for the Brave Bird and just one-shot the opponent. Goodbye there. They can farm us down though, but we can realign. This is like the main important thing here. I can realign my Sirfetch'd against the opponent's MEWeedle, doing a ton of damage in return. But they're going to actually reveal that they have the Double Iron Bash here, which is going to be an interesting one for us. We can go for the Night Stash here to try to knock them out, but they're going to shield this move up. I'm going to shield this move up as well because Super Power is going to do a ton of damage. And they're going to swap out now into their Blasters, allowing me to go for my own Leaf Blade here. And this is going to be a fairly decent one for us, as we're going to put them now into Power Whip range from our Lickitung, which should be an easy victory for us. They're going to go for one charge move themselves. Hydro Cannon not going to do too much damage here either. And we can hopefully just one-shot the opponent with one Power Whip here, but it just barely doesn't do enough damage. They can still get to another charge move here right now. And now they're going to be able to go ahead and go put us into a range where we're going to, no, okay, they're going to have a weak connection here. Oh, that's going to be super difficult now because they got too much energy because of the weak connection. I didn't see them swapping in, but luckily they go for the Double Iron Bash and we will be able to survive that move just barely, and we can still win this game. Amazing lead for us here right now, the Vigoroth, but in comes now the Sirfetch'd, and I went into my wrong Pokemon to be fair. That's kind of embarrassing to be fair. I should have went into my Sirfetch'd here. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird, but honestly there's not a lot that I can do here really. I'm just going to forfeit because I was not really in the mood to play this anymore. There's also a horrible lead here for us though, but we're gonna get out the Machamp, and we're going to be able to go for some Leaf Blade spam, and as you're going to see right now, they're going to shield up the first move, but they don't know that I'm going to be able to win CMP. Yes, this small duck here wins CMP against this bigger wrestling fighter, which just doesn't make any sense at all, but going to benefit us quite a bit as we can farm down with the Sirfetch'd, getting us even more energy. They come in back into the Vigoroth, which kind of tells me that they're most likely going to be very weak against me in the back with their last Pokemon in the back. Maybe something like an Umbreon might make some kind of sense here. We're gonna try to go for the Night Slash, and they're going to swap out into the Umbreon to catch the move. Very smart decision here, as they can now go ahead and try to go for a Leaf Blade against them, but they're going to go for their own charge move first, allowing me still to go for more fast moves against them. I can go for 4 more fast moves if I want to, but no, I'm going to just go straight for the Leaf Blade here right now, which is going to do enough damage to put them into range for the move Night Slash here, and we're going to be able to knock them out here, and the opponent knows already at this point of time there is no way in hell that they're going to be able to win this game, so we can now go ahead and go into the next game here. Florges against us in the lead is going to be an interesting one as well, as they're going to now be able to go for the Body Slam here, which is going to do some pretty decent damage against the Florges most likely. But in comes now most likely a Moonblast, which is going to do also a lot of damage. Like Stab Moonblast is going to be not something you can joke with, but you can still go for some more Body Slam spam against the opponent, as you can take this incoming disarming voice. Luckily here it's going to just barely not be enough to knock us out, and we can swap out now after this one immediately into my safe swap here of the Sirfetch'd here, as we're going to get out the Donphan of the opponent. And that's going to be an interesting matchup for us, as we're going to be able to go for the Night Slash here. A boost would be of course very beneficial, but you never get them when you need them. And we will see that the opponent is going to be able to go ahead and knock me out here. I'm going to save my shield for my good friend Farfetch'd, as you're going to get out the Vigoroth. But sadly at this point of time, there's nothing I can do really. There's literally nothing I can do. My only play here is to maybe try to bait the opponent with a Leaf Blade, then get a ton of energy, then try to catch him move onto my Lickitung, then try to get some damage from the Lickitung onto the opponent's Vigoroth, because Brave Bird won't have done enough damage from that range. Now I'm going to go for one Brave Bird, and I can knock them out, and I can go for a Leaf Blade, and even knock out the Donphan. And like this, we were able to sweep endgame here against the opponent's Donphan, and this is going to be a very good game here as well. Let's take a look at the next one. You're gonna be able to now get out the 90s from the opponent, where we are going to be able to go for the Body Slam against it. They have the Fire Spin as fast move, so they need 6 Fire Spins to get to the Overheat, which is going to be an interesting one here. As I expect that they go straight for the Overheat, I'm going to shield up this move. Overheat coming through here, and I can get out now the Dragonair, where I can go for one charge move against. This is going to do some pretty decent damage. I can stay in here, wait until they throw their own charge move against me. I can now swap out afterwards and get some like farm down here basically with my Sirfetch'd, which is going to go for counter, which just farms them easily down here. In comes now, actually interestingly enough, which I didn't expect, the 90s again, which I thought they might have something then weak against me in the back, because usually they wouldn't go into that one. They're actually going to shield this move up as well, allowing me to shield up my move here from the opponent. It's going to be the Weather Ball, and in comes another Umbreon. And like this, we can go for the Leaf Blade spam, which is going to do some pretty decent damage against them, but they're going to shield this move up anyway. And I don't get to another one, but we're going to get them into a range where I can go ahead and go into my good friend, the Farfetch'd. And as long as they don't have a Psychic, we should be fine here. And in comes here right now the opponent's Psychic. It's still not enough to knock us out though, and we can go straight for the Brave Bird, which I should have not go straight for. I think I should have get some more energy first. But like this, we're going to be able to now get enough energy and also get just enough health still left to knock out the opponent's final Pokemon. And now we can go into the next game. We have a Muk in the lead, exactly where we want to face it, because our backline is pretty weak against that. We will be able to still go ahead and go for some damaging moves here with our Lickitung, as Body Slam is going to do some pretty decent damage against the opponent. We will see now the Body Slam going to do enough damage to put them into a 2-shot range as the opponent goes into the Dragonair. I can go for another charge move here, and I can swap out into my Sirfetch'd, get some extra energy, shield up this charge move, try to go for some Night Slashes against the opponent's Muk, and I should be able to get my shield back here anyway, which should be pretty beneficial for me, as they're going to get out now the Muk again. They are forced to go for a charge move soon, but they actually went for one fast move first, as I get the shield from the opponent, and now they go for their own charge move. I have to let this move go through. It's going to be a Thunder Punch, of course, and I can go ahead and go back into my Lickitung, which can go forward Body Slam, but in comes now the Umbreon. I try to catch the move here, and I can catch the move onto my Duck, which is really important for me, but it's still not over. This game is going to be fairly close, as I have to shield this move up here. I actually opened Discord for whatever reason, and I will be able to go ahead and go for the Leaf Blade first here as well, which is going to do a lot of damage, not enough damage to really threaten them, but I can see CMP against the opponent. This might be the key to win this game. The CMP will allow me now to let the opponent go for another charge move here onto me while not having really any energy left. They go into the muck. I have to overfarm by a little bit so I can get to 2 body slams before they can go for 1 charge move of their own basically. And I'm going to be able to go for another body slam after this one as well, as the opponent is going to still need another fast move. And like this, we're going to be able to easily win this game, as this body slam is going to be enough to knock them out. Nope, it's not. They still go for their own charge move here, but they don't know that we still have the Farfetch'd in the bag, which is going to just go for 1 fast move and we win with 1 HP. Let's take a look at the next game. Sylveon in the lead. I hate this player, honestly. Like, not the player itself, don't get me wrong, but I hate the team that the player is playing. Here also, I don't know how the charm came through. You saw like the animation back to back, and honestly, it is effective, I just don't like those kind of teams. They're going to have the Sylveon here in the lead, which is going to be, of course, a Pokemon that I don't really want to face with my backline, so that's kind of decent for me. But you're going to see it later on as well. This team itself is just the biggest degen team that you can run. You have the, you have the Hitmonchan, you have the Marowak there. The Marowak with the Mud Slap, and we of course have another Charm user, because why do we not go for, just honestly, I just don't like those double Charm teams, especially if it's an ABA style. It's just not really mine. We're going to at least be able to go for 1 Leaf Blade here and knock them out. I wouldn't have been able to get to a move with my Lickitung, and I will still not get to another move with my Lickitung here. So yeah, that's going to be it for this game here, sadly. I just don't like those teams. You can play them, of course. They can be effective, especially if you have a double weakness against Charm here like my team does. But honestly, do you really have to do that? I'm not sure about it. But yeah, we're going to have here now a Muk against us. Then comes now the Umbreon, where we can go ahead and go for some Leaf Blade spam against it again. We're going to shield up 1 time just in case they have Psychic, but they have Last Resort, which is good to know. And I can go for 1 Leaf Blade here right now, which is going to do some pretty decent damage against the opponent as well. And we can now farm them all the way down, as they can go for 1 charge move, but I will be able to survive it. And I will be able to go straight for the Night Slash against the incoming Muk, as this is going to threaten their health and most likely threaten the shield as well, as they're going to now get that move off. They are forced to go for 1 Thunder Punch basically immediately, because otherwise I can go for my own charge move, and they're going to go do exactly that here. But no, they actually go for the Dark Pulse for whatever reason. Maybe they have Acid Spray, that would make some sense. But now we're going to get out at the Vigoroth of the opponent, which is going to be an interesting matchup because I have to outspeed them. But I should be able to outspeed them, because a Leaf Blade actually only needs 8 fast moves of mine, which is 8 turns, while the opponent needs always 10 turns for their charge move. And this is so beneficial, as they're going to be able to get the CMP tie here right now. They're going to be able to knock me out here, but I will still have my Lickitung with basically full health here as well, and I can go for the Body Slam, which is going to be a CMP tie against the opponent's Body Slam here, so we're going to have a Body Slam spam here. But otherwise, you're going to see already, they're going to be fairly low with that. They're going to swap out first with the Muk. I can go for another Body Slam here, which is going to knock out the Muk as well. And this is going to be it for today's video as well, because this is going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.